How you guys doing? This 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and this is a special edition of Breaking Down the Books. I did mention I'm not going to be doing Breaking Down the Books during the week anymore. It's only going to be on Fridays. I'm going to do it today. I didn't have a show yesterday, and then for the last 8 days prior to that, I've been giving you guys strictly picks, and it seems that it was going well, but I'm back to regular scheduling. Anyways, we did pretty good during that stretch. Again, want to send out all my condolences to everybody involved in that horrific helicopter crash, and we'll try to move past that and get right into some sports betting. So, starting from the top, we got a short slate of NHL, only 2 games, and then a good bit of NBA to delve into. So, let's start this up. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the New York Rangers. Toronto, their favorite. If you're following their 1.71 on your buck, at some books you might be able to get it at 150, so 50 cents on your dollar. I like the 71 cents, but I don't like Toronto. They're gonna have a goalie at net today. I'm not too sure who he is. Rangers also gonna have some like. Anyways, here I'll tell you guys exactly who they are. I'm not familiar with either one of them. Is good. Well, we know Hutchinson, but Hutchinson is not nice. But on New York, it's gonna be Shesterkin. He's 3-1 for New York. I haven't seen him play, to be honest. Igor Shesterkin. He has a 9.27 goal. He has a .927 goal against average. He's gonna go up against Hutchinson. Toronto's just a little bit too favored for me, so I'm not even gonna dip into this too long. I'm just gonna stay away from this game. If you guys want Toronto, obviously, the reason to roll with them is because they got a more seasoned goalie at net. They have a more seasoned team. Although this team is not gonna make the playoffs, they got the guys. They got a big a four-headed monster over there. Um, Toronto, but you have to think about it this way too. Toronto's 3-7 at the spread, which is the puck line. They're 15-8 at in their last 23 games, which is not that bad. It's honestly not horrible, but we have to go to 23 games for us to find a stretch of good ones. Then they go over in most of their games. So in the last 5, they went over 4 times, and they're 7-1 straight up on the road. So that's something that they might have going for them. New York, in their own respects, they're 1-4 when they play at home against Toronto, and the unders actually hit in 4 of the last 5 games when they played versus Toronto in their house. So if you want New York, good luck. If you have Toronto, best of luck to you also. But you're justified in it because they obviously have New York's number. But me personally, I'm not gonna take that pick. I'm gonna stay far away from that as possible. 7.0 is the total with the juice on the under. Overpaying a whopping 215 to 1 is what I'm seeing over here. Ridiculous. So, best of luck to all for whoever is betting on that game. I don't have a play. Next is the Boston Bruins versus the Chicago Blackhawks. And the Blackhawks are heavy dogs today, and they should be because Boston is one of those top teams. But man, if you guys follow me before, I always mention these trash teams, all these teams that are bottom feeders, they're not going to keep on taking L's forever. And for that reason, I have the Chicago Blackhawks. Not only do I feel like they beat Boston in what I believe is going to be a blowout, like I think they're going to win maybe a 5-1 victory or some shit like that, but Robin Lehner is going to be at net, and statistically, he has a better record than Halak does. The total's at 6.0, and like I said, I really feel like Chicago's gonna beat Boston today. They beat them in the last meeting that they had, which was about 2 months ago on December 5th. Chicago won 4-3, so the game went over in that situation. Game went over in the situation before that, which was about a year ago when they played Chicago. Chicago was bottom feeders last year also, and they lost 6-3, which is another over. And then a month before that, where they played and it was a 4-2 victory for Boston, which is not a over, but it's a push. So, just in a little bit of historicals, that's what Boston and Chicago look like. Back and forth as far as wins go. Boston's actually 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. The under is hit in 5 of the last 7 games, so the under looks pretty prevalent here. I like Robin Lehner, and Halak is he's pretty solid. I like the under honestly when you really have to think about it, but the total's actually gone over in 4 of the last 5 games that Chicago's played at home. So, I like the under, but I think it's gonna be a blowout, and Boston doesn't like to get rolled over. So even if they lose this game, I don't believe they're going to get rolled over. So I like Chicago Blackhawks as the underdogs in this game. I think that's enough for me as far as hockey goes. Spend way too much time on two games, if you ask me. So for the next few games in basketball, which we're gonna get right into the NBA, we're gonna try to do a minute per game. So, just I'm just gonna try it. We'll see how it works out. So starting from the top in the NBA, we got the Phoenix Suns versus the Detroit Pistons. You got Devin Booker, who's gonna be playing in Michigan. That's his hometown. He's from Grand Rapids, I want to say. But anyways, yeah. So he usually has he tries to show out anyways. The last time these guys seen each other, they got blown out, which was last year in March, and Phoenix ended up getting blown out in that game. Phoenix is on a losing streak, 3 games. Detroit is going to be without a bunch of their guys. Phoenix been without a bunch of their guys from the beginning of the season, so I think they're conditioned to do it. I like Phoenix here, but I like the money line. 3.0 is the spread, 218.0 is the total. I would typically put an over in a Phoenix game, but I'm not gonna pick the total here because Derrick Rose is out, and anyways, there's just a bunch of injuries for Detroit. So no play as far as the totals go, but I like Phoenix money line in this situation. Next, we got the Golden State Warriors versus the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn still without Kyrie. The only guys missing in this game are the four superstars. So it's no Steph, no Clay, no KD, and no Kyrie. So this is like this would be a crazy matchup if those guys were all healthy. If Kyrie was healthy, I would go Brooklyn -6 all the way. I don't like that number at all. Hell, I don't even like the total to go over. I actually like the under 223. 223 is the total. No juice on either side. I like Brooklyn to go under in this game because I think they might be able to contain the Warriors. Warriors are not accustomed to scoring 100 points unless you let them. They score 100 points the other day. I don't think they score 100 points today. But obviously, the other day they played versus Washington. Everybody scores 100 points against Washington because if you want to beat Washington, you got to score like, at least 110 because they're going to score 120. So if you want to beat them, you got to score 121. You know what I mean? And if you don't beat them, well, obviously they're still going to go over, but you're going to lose the game. So but that's the story with Washington. Now we're talking about Brooklyn and Golden State. And in this situation, I like the over. I don't like Brooklyn to cover so much, especially with all the trade rumors. You know what? Amidst all of that, maybe the 6.0 for Brooklyn to cover is not such a bad idea because D'Angelo Russell before the end of the night might not even end up playing in this game because he might just get traded to another team. So be on the lookout for that. In the middle of a game, people's been traded before. I've heard that kind of stuff. So, um, you know, be aware. Tomorrow's the trade deadline, so it's going to be a big deal. Next, we got the Indiana Pacers versus the Toronto Raptors. Raptors 6.0 favorites. It's a little bit of juice on the Pacers, so a little bit of a fade. 216.5 is the total. I love that over. I just do. I also like Indy to win here. But honestly, man, I got in like I like Indy money line. They've been on the skid. Toronto, last time they seen Indy was about 2 months ago, where Indy won 120 to 115. The total today is 216.5, and it's pretty much gone over in damn near all the games that they've played in recent memory. Um, Toronto's 4-1 straight up at home in their last five. Over is hit in 8 of their last 11. Indiana 6-2 at the spread on the road, and the overs hit in 6 of the last 9. I love the over in this game. I lean Indiana at a 3.05 underdog. I do, I do, I do. But I'm just gonna have to take a big lean on that. Fuck it. I'm gonna give you guys Indiana money line. Sorry my language, guys, for those of you watching with your kids around. I'm gonna go with Indiana Pacers money line and the over 216.5 in this game. Next, we got the Orlando Magic versus the Boston Celtics. Celtics 5.5 favorites, still without Kemba Walker. Magic's they're pretty much healthy. But Boston's a 5.5 favorite, as they should be. 209.0 is the total. It's a little bit low. I don't like Orlando games. They're so like honestly, as far as totals go, I don't bet on Orlando's totals because they're very unpredictable. They one day they go over, one day they go under, and it's not even based on the team they're playing. It's just based on who they're gonna be that day. What kind of are they gonna be shooting threes? Are they gonna be more cramming the paint? Like Orlando doesn't necessarily have an identity. It's halfway through the season and they still have no identity. So I don't like betting on the total here. But I do like the Orlando Magic not to win in this situation. Do I like Boston to cover without Kemba Walker, without Marcus Smart and all that? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. They should. They should cover. They've been covering. So I don't see why not. But maybe I'll come back to it. Next, we got the Atlanta Hawks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm skipping over this game. Atlanta's going to be undermanned. Minnesota's on a 12-game losing streak. I suggest you guys just don't bet on this. Minnesota's a 4-point favorite also. Um, if anything, I would bet on the Hawks, but no play in this game at all. 239.0 is the total. If you guys really want to bet somebody, bet the Hawks. I might be crazy. I might not. I might be better at hockey than I am with basketball. I watch a lot more basketball than I do hockey. I watch all the sports really, but I'm telling you right now, a team that's on a 12-game losing streak, filled with G League players, and Andrew Wiggins who scored 12 points or 13 points in 4 quarters. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't like Timberwolves' favorite here. Young Trey Young is still on this court, and I like Atlanta to win in this situation. But that's a lean, not a play, not official. So I'm moving on. You know what? Going back to the Boston game, I got the Boston Celtics to cover that spread. So give me the Boston Celtics 5.5. Next, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the OKC Thunder. OKC, last time I checked, was about 2 hours ago, and they were 13.5 favorites. Now, all of a sudden, sorry, they were 12.5 favorites. Now, all of a sudden, they're 13.5 favorites. That's a lot of money to me. That's a lot of numbers. Um, they're saying Kevin Love might get traded as of today. I don't think that's happening. I don't see suitors and I don't see where it's happening. But a lot of people are keeping their trades hush hush because they don't want any they don't want any kind of tampering or other teams getting involved, knowing that certain players are getting dealt for other players. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just try to keep it a little bit hush hush because they want to avoid all the other general managers from knowing what exactly is going on. Like, I'm gonna offer you this, that, and that with no draft picks. Are you willing to, part ways with this piece? And is that gonna be enough? So when other GMs hear these kind of things, starts to give them ideas, then they hear new pitches, then it starts to, play with their minds. So for that reason, maybe a deal happens, but I don't see one happening still. Um, but anyways, going back to the original point, I think that's way too many points to cover by. OKC is nice, but that's a lot of points. Give me the under, the 220.5. They could play defense. They're a very good defensive team, and I don't see Cleveland really battling with. Although Cleveland is, they cover spreads. They're a trash team, bottom feeders, but they could cover a spread, especially a double digit one. But I like the under 220.5. Next, we got the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas, I believe they're still going to be without Luca. They're 5.0 favorites. 226.0 is the total over. Always bet on the over. If you see Dallas and Washington, chances are the game's gonna go over. Looking like Luca's back in the lineup. Seth Curry is probably gonna be back today. That's a big deal, believe it or not. JJ Barea, he's probably gonna be playing. Well, not probably, but he's questionable to play today. So they're not sure if he's gonna play, but he might. And Jonas Valanciunas, they're saying that he's managing his soreness in the knee. So I like the over in this game. I also like Mavericks to cover. I'm sorry. Like, let's just be real here. Um, if you guys want a reason to bet on the Memphis Grizzlies, well, Memphis, they've been doing a pretty damn good job at at covering spreads, at winning games. They went on a little bit of a slump because they've seen some teams, um, but like they're 4-1 at the spread in their last five. Dallas is 8-4 straight up. 4-9 at the spread in their last 14 at home. So something's got to give. They probably know that. Sure, they know that. The under is hitting 6 of their last 9 when playing versus Memphis. But mind you, this is spanning over 2 seasons because 9 games. This is 9 games is spanning over 2 seasons. And we're dealing with a whole new team. Now they're calling it the Grizz City or the Grit City. They're not the Grindhouse no more though. So the under is actually hitting 4 of the last 6. It doesn't really matter to me per se. Memphis 5-1 straight up, 5-1 at the spread in the last 6. Like I said, they've been holding it down. Give me Dallas, man. Give me Dallas to cover. You know what? No, Yeah, forget it, forget it. Give me Dallas to cover. I don't like to second guess myself. Give me Dallas to cover. Give me the over 226. Everything. Feel free to fade those two picks. I'll even give them out as a parlay, correlated parlay. If Dallas wins, they cover the spread. Like if Dallas covers the spread, sorry, they go over 226.0. So that's like I'll give it as a correlated parlay. I won't do those too often. The last time I did one, it failed. We one a half won, and then the other half failed. So you could also single bet them, which I suggest you do with all the plays that I give out. I always tell you you're free to fade or follow, but in this situation, I like correlated parlay here. If Dallas covers, the game goes over 226. So I like that number. If they don't cover, the game goes under. So you could either go Dallas to cover and the over, or Memphis to cover and the under. Anyways, next we got the Denver Nuggets versus the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz 9.5 favorites. Denver just came off of a big win yesterday where they blew out Portland. Well deserved blown out because, Portland acts like they're nice, but they're really not. They had a few big games from Damian Lillard, and then all of a sudden they were on their high horse, got blown out by 30. So, I was never on the bandwagon. If you guys know, you know. I've been fading Portland since they didn't cover versus Golden State the first time. Matter of fact, they lost. So I don't play with them. 9.5 to me is still a lot of points. 214.5 is kind of low, in my opinion, but I like the under in that situation in the Jazz game. And last but not least, we got the Miami Heat versus the LA Clippers. The Clippers, they're probably gonna rest everybody, right? That's just what they do. So let's check to make sure, as of right now, what's going on because for the most part, I know they're probably resting guys like they have a real reason to. Myers Leonard, he's out today for Miami. Justice Winslow, he's also out. Tyler Hero out and Alexander out. Bunch of guys who are out for this game. 224.5 is the total. I like the over in this situation. I like all Clippers games to go over. It didn't go over last time in San Antonio. It was a big game, I guess, but I like the over in this situation. Let's see how they fare against one another. Because personally, I would also go with Miami. 6.5 is the favorite for the Clippers, and I would honestly go with Miami to cover the spread. But there seems to be no injuries, no rest. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago, at the last moment, they just said, Kawhi Leonard is a healthy scratch, so be careful with that. Like, be careful with the Clippers. They're 4-1. The Clippers are in their last 5 games, straight up win. Under in the last 5 of 7. So maybe unclick my over. 6-1 in their last 7 at home. So they, maybe I don't bet against the spread. And the Heat are also one of they're a really bad road team. So maybe I don't bet against that spread. They're also 6-3 straight up against Miami, and the game's gone under in 8 of the last 10 that they played Miami. So screaming under. This game's screaming under. Miami typically goes over. They're 8-11 at the over on the road. 5-10 when they play in LA. That's not good at all. That's not good at all. Yeah, 220, 224.5. Let's just you know what? Give me a quick sec. This is gonna be the last game anyways. Bear with me one moment. Let's see if I can find an edge on either side because I don't want to put the under in this game because the Clippers always let people score 100 points. You know what I mean? So it's screaming under, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. And mind you, these guys just played each other like the last time they played each other was last year. They only played each other once. No, they played each other just like last month, like 2 weeks ago. They played each other. It was 122 to 117. All the other games were games that happened across the other like last year, the year before that. It's a whole new era. Jimmy Butler is in Miami right now. It's a whole new era. So as the home team, the Clippers the Clippers are 12, 13, and 1 so they've gone under 13 times and one push at home. So that doesn't really give me anything to go by. So anyways, maybe maybe I like the over. 224.5 is a little too low for me. I like the over in this game. Not gonna second guess that. 6.5 is the spread, and they honestly should blow out the Heat because the Heat are really not that good on the road. But I'm gonna hold out on any Clipper spread until I find out what exactly is going on. But anyways, that's pretty much it for me. So before I give you guys the Bookie Bullies rundown, I'd love for you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're posted anytime I post videos like these. So I'd like to also give a special apology for my laptop jiggling like this. I have it on my lap. I don't have it on my desk like I typically do. Trying to rearrange the office space, if you want to call it that. So, a little bit of a jittery in my screen. So, hopefully, you guys bear with me. Anyways, Bookie Bullies rundown. Starting from the top, we got the Chicago Blackhawks money line for the upset. Phoenix Suns money line instead of the spread. We got the under 223.0 in the Golden State versus Brooklyn game. The over 216.5 in the Indiana versus Raptors. Indiana Pacers money line. The Boston Celtics minus 5.5. The under 220.5 in OKC versus Cleveland. The over 226.0 in Memphis versus Dallas. Dallas to cover that 5.0 spread. And that was actually a correlated parlay. So Dallas to go over 226 and Dallas to cover minus 5.0. I have it as a correlated parlay for the night. The under 214.5 in the Denver versus Utah game and the over 224.5 in the Clippers versus Miami. Those plays will be posted on my Twitter. I've been absent from Twitter for a while. That's 11 plays. I'm actually gonna, maybe slip a buck on it. I'm gonna put a buck on it just in case all of them hit, which is a possibility. We haven't gone perfect since November. November was the last time we went perfect. Sometimes we go 9 of 7. Like so the other day we went 6 of 7, and we had that stupid Winnipeg on our card, so we ended up losing. But it's hard to go 100%. Hell, it's hard to go 50%. But we do it, and as long as we could cash and make some money, that's all that's really important. So, anyways, on that note, I'm gonna leave you guys. But before I do, I'm gonna tell you like I tell you all the time. Please don't bet what you can't afford to lose. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So on that note, be safe, be good, and I'll see you again tomorrow.